talking about immigration, a full show on immigration today on the show. It sounds very complex, very scary, actually. And like I said earlier, ambitious. It's a big, big project, but we all agree that something is bound to happen this year, and it's better to be informed about that. And it's also good to be part of the discussion. And later on in the program, we're going to be asking some of our experts joining us today on the show on how we can be involved and what can we do in order to make our voices heard on this topic. Meanwhile, before we proceed, I'd like to take a break, and meaning take a break, take a vacation, guys. I'd like to invite you to come to Taiwan with me. This is the third part of our travel to Taiwan with LA18, and we are leaving on April 1st. This is such a great deal for you. Information on the screen. This includes the package price, includes ticket from LA to Taiwan. We have 5 days in Taiwan and 4 nights. So it includes all accommodation, all the tours. It even includes a culinary tour. So we're going to learn to cook some Taiwanese, authentic Taiwanese dishes. We're going to go to their tea plantation, which is they're very known for their tea. And then it includes a ticket to the Philippines. So you can also stay in the Philippines, visit your loved ones in the Philippines. We're leaving on April 1st. Better call now. Slots are filling up very, very quickly. Meanwhile, back here in studio, Ronnie Ligo is via Skype joining us, and he posed this question earlier for the 11 million undocumented immigrants. So granted that, okay, we're giving them a path to citizenship, it involves paying taxes, back taxes. How likely are employers going to be honest about it and say that, number one, they broke the law, they hired undocumented immigrants, and number two, they basically hire them so they can pay them below minimum wage?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things involved in that question. First of all, I think, to be clear, there are a large portion of people who are working in the United States paying taxes, and they are already paying taxes. They're already paying into the system, and most of them won't take out of the system because they're not properly in the system. So for the portion that are here working illegally, either working under the table, getting paid cash, or working for an employer who's not reporting their income, I mean, I'm not sure how they're going to go back and track that. There's going to have to be some provisions to say maybe 2 years, 3 years. People have been here for 20 years, and so it's very difficult to sort of hash that all out as far as in taxes are concerned.
And the employers too, have they been taking down notes? Have they been keeping records?
And along that line, there will hopefully be a means in which individuals can just prove that they have been working without having to rely on their employers.
Right.
Because that is a dilemma, employers cannot lawfully hire certain individuals, and so they may not be willing to participate by providing a W-2 or a 1099 or the tax forms that are needed in order to file tax returns. There are ways, however, in which a person can still prove that they have worked here in the United States. The more difficult part are people who are getting paid cash. So if anything, this is a learning lesson for people who want to make themselves eligible in the future. They need to start documenting their employment records now. Okay. For people who are getting paid cash, get a receipt or something. Hopefully that can indicate that where that source of money is coming from. And then for people who have, as far as back wages are concerned, hopefully there's at least some type of trail that they have retained, maybe checks that had been issued to them from their employers in the past. So there are ways in which to prove that you have worked without necessarily relying on your employer.
And that is good, Allison. That's a good tip. So then now people that are watching, this is a good tip for you. If you haven't been keeping records, it's time to keep a record now. So you can start now. Ronnie, you're a journalist. You go out and cover stuff, cover events, cover issues, and you also talk to people on the streets. What is the consensus among them as far as the Filipino community is concerned? Ano ba ang pulso ng ating mga kababayan about this immigration debate?
Right. In 2008, I remember, meron ako istorya, I wrote an article, a report from USCIS that stated there are 280,000 undocumented Filipinos alone here in the United States. So napakalaking number niya, no? That's a huge number as far as our kababayans are concerned. So I'm pretty sure they are very concerned about and worry about this immigration reform. Attorney Aquino, my question is because there have been proposals that if there's going to be an immigration reform, those who have stayed here at least 5 years and beyond may be covered by this immigration reform. What about those who are like 4 years? And also the people who jump ship, like the crew members that did not register or whatever you call that, and will they be will also be covered by this?
Be covered by the yeah.
Right.
Are they even talking about that? Are they considering that?
And those are the details that really need to be worked out over the next few months. Hopefully it's only months. But there are issues that haven't been raised. For example, like Ronnie mentioned, where are we going to set that cutoff?
Yes.
We certainly don't want to encourage people to come now.
Right.
Because of the debate that's going on. Certainly we don't want people to be illegally crossing the border or overstaying visas at this point in time. And so there does have to be a designation of when did they enter the country. As far as the 5 years, whether it's 3 years or whether oftentimes it's upon enactment of the law itself.
Okay.
So that would be a much more broader sweep of who is going to be eligible.
Okay.
I would presume anyways, although this is a huge presumption, that individuals who can document that they have been here regardless of how they entered,
right.
that they would go ahead and be included in any type of plan. Other issues, though, that have to be worked out is what about those individuals who have committed fraud? You know, what issue is that going to play as far as their eligibility? Or another huge population that we have here in the United States are people who have already been ordered deported or removed from the U.S. Are they also going to be included in that package?
So many things. And like you said, I'll use that word. It's really complex. So just looking at it now, and we've tried to talk about it. We devoted a full show on it. We just have, 5 minutes left on the show. Is it possible to reach an agreement by the end of the year? And enactment of that law as well. We're going to be talking more and what we can do as citizens. We're going to be talking about that when we return on the show. Don't go away.